All right. So, hey team, welcome to our Thursday night call. We are going to be focusing on the area of consistency tonight. So, there are 3 different areas of consistency I told you all that I would be focusing on, and I made notes, so don't laugh at me. So the 3 areas of consistency that we'll focus on tonight are being consistent with your own self-growth and personal development, being consistent with your social media posts, and being a consistent support to our own downline coaches. So before we dive into all of that, I thought I would share a quote that I found with you all on Instagram, actually by the company TeamZ, who I don't know if anyone's using TeamZ yet, but oh, can everyone mute? Because Monique is saying you can't. She can't hear. Let me see if I can mute. Okay. So I was going to share a quote. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so I was going to share a quote from the company TeamZ. I don't know if any of you are using the tracking system from the company TeamZ yet, but if you're not, I highly recommend looking into it. They have a 30-day trial offer, and it helps you track your customers and coaches, and it saves a lot of time. So I highly recommend it. But anyway, I found this quote from TeamZ today on Instagram, and it says, "You don't decide your future, you decide your habits, and your habits decide your future." And I just thought that was very applicable for our call tonight in talking about being consistent, because being consistent has to do with the habits that we participate in each day. And if we don't have habits that are going to help us be successful as coaches, then we're not looking to build or change our future. So I thought that was a really great quote to start our call with tonight. So,
904.
Oh, can everyone just
904.
Everyone make sure they're on mute, please. Okay. So before I dive into my portion of the call, I was going to ask you all to complete a little assignment. And the assignment is going to focus on our own daily schedules. So when we're thinking about being consistent as coaches and how we can consistently grow our business and participate in all the things that we're required to do as coaches to be successful, we need to think about our own daily schedule and where in our schedule we are going to fit in all these components of the coaching opportunity that are going to help us be successful. So I'm going to set a timer, and for 3 minutes, I'm just going to ask you to create your daily schedule. So I want you to think about what you do every day, what time you wake up, what you do when you first wake up, and what time you go to bed and what you do in between. So just to give you a quick example, between 5:30 and 6:30 a.m., what I wrote for my daily schedule was wake up, make coffee, make my kids lunches and breakfast, and that was it. So I have that for my 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. That's what I do. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to think about your daily schedule and to create what you do from your wake up time to your bedtime, basically. And I understand your schedule isn't going to be exactly the same every day. I don't have the same exact schedule every day either. I'm a stay-at-home mom and have different activities, and I donate time to my daughter's school, and just thinking of your most consistent schedule. What's your most consistent schedule? So go ahead and do that now. I'm going to set a timer to give everyone 3 minutes.
Wish your skin could bounce back like it used to? Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel with hyaluronic acid in plump skin cells with intense hydration and luxity for supple, hydrated skin. Hydro Boost from Neutrogena.
My girl Cindy bought this fridge from Lowe's because of their worry-free 30-day satisfaction guarantee on appliances. That's what I'm talking about, Cindy. I like your style. Now get up to 25% off select major appliances, $396 or more at Lowe's.
Hey there, can I help you with anything?
Hey, Siri, what's AT&T?
Oh, I don't think that's right now. Switch to AT&T for an iPhone.
Is that right?
Yeah, I guess that is the
current offer from AT&T.
Okay, Siri, you don't know everything. Well, I know you asked me to call you the AT&T hostess with the most cash. Shut it down. Turn it off.
Right now, buy an iPhone and get another one free when you add a second.
Oh, good, it's recording because I missed out on like the first couple of minutes. That's my thing. I'm not consistent. I know I'm not. Like, I don't like every day we're supposed to like do what's called the power hour. And you're supposed to add like say 5 people to your Facebook page. Add 3 people every.
Can everyone mute yourselves, please? We hear background noise. Can everyone press mute so you're all muted? Okay, about 1 more minute to finish up your daily schedule.
Hey guys, come on up, 9:10. Let's go. You got school tomorrow. Guys, now. I'm going to bed.
Okay, about 10 more seconds and we're gonna get started. All right, cool. So my timer just went off. There we go. Okay. So I want you just to hold on to those schedules. We're gonna come back to them in a few minutes and we're gonna use them throughout the call. And I'm just gonna start focusing on my first area of being consistent. So, you know, this is an obvious thing that we're asked to participate in on a daily basis as coaches. It's one of our 3 vital behaviors, and that's being consistent with our own personal development and self-growth. And I want to just talk to that a little bit because when I first signed on as a coach and I learned that was one of the 3 vital behaviors, I didn't feel like I needed to do it. I was just kind of like, well, I don't really need professional development and I don't need to participate in that piece of being a coach because, you know, I am a positive person and I'm happy and, you know, that's not something that I felt that I needed to participate in, which was not obviously the right attitude to have, but that was what I felt when I first signed on. So I did it sporadically. Whenever Shane would talk about a book that sounded really good, I would pick it up and I would read it, but I wasn't consistent about listening to professional development. Every day we're supposed to plug in for 10 minutes and I did not make that one of my consistent behaviors or habits. I just basically did it when I felt like it or felt like I needed it. So I fast forward you to December when I went through a very, very challenging time in my own life. My dad passed away and I came to a point in the business where I came to like a screeching halt and I felt like I did not want to get on social media. I didn't want to share my story. I didn't want to express what I was feeling because I obviously wasn't in a place of, hooray, let me share my workouts with you and let me tell you about all this positive stuff because I didn't feel that way personally and I was struggling. So I expressed to Shane what I was going through as a person and why I didn't think I could be posting on social media for a while anymore. And she told me she completely respected my feelings, understood that I was going through a tough time, but she highly recommended that I devote some time to professional development. And she said, even if you don't do it in thinking about the coaching opportunity, do it for yourself. I promise you it's going to change your mindset. And I made the commitment to myself. I said it's 10 minutes every single day that she's asking me to commit to professional development. I can find somewhere in my schedule every day to commit to professional development to help myself feel better. So I took a look at my own schedule and I thought to myself, where in my day can I commit to incorporating professional development into, please mute. Oh, okay. So if there's anyone that's not muted, can you please mute? We can hear all your background noise. Even if you're on the phone, can you mute your phone, please? Better? That's better. Okay, I think that's better. So I'm sorry, I was talking about finding time in my own schedule to commit to professional development. And I think the two things that Shane told me that really hit home was it's 10 minutes. That's all you're required every day. And, you know, really it would be great to do more, but just find 10 minutes. And also she changed my thinking about reading a book as opposed to Audible. As soon as I started listening to my professional development on Audible, it was a lot easier to commit to the 10 minutes every single day. So what I did was look at my schedule and think, where in my schedule do I know I can consistently every single day commit to doing this vital behavior? And I decided that the morning when I first woke up was a really good time. I got up at 5:30. I came downstairs. I was by myself, and I typically watch the news. So instead of watching the news, I committed to listening to 10 minutes of professional development. And I will tell you that being someone that did not want to do this from the get-go, and now committing every single day to consistently making professional development a piece of my life, it's not only changed who I am as a coach, but it's changed me completely as a person. I definitely feel that when I am struggling with things or having challenges in my life, committing 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, which sounds so small, but listening to that positivity and just knowing how you can change your mindset, that we have the power to change our mindset, made such a huge difference in my own life. So that's something that I feel as a coach, we need to make sure we are putting into our schedule every single day. So with that, I want you all to take a look at the schedules that you just created and find a place in your schedule that you can put 10 minutes of professional development every single day. You know, in that time frame, you can be consistent about being in tune with professional development, whether it's in the car, whether it's when you're getting dressed after a shower, whatever it might be. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that right now. And now tomorrow, I want you to think about the daily schedule and think about where you just place your professional development. I want you to make a commitment to yourself. Know that you are going to spend 10 minutes now every single day with your professional development. And I do highly recommend Audible. You get 2 free Audible subscriptions a month through Amazon. So that makes spending time with professional development a lot easier. All right, awesome. Anyone have any questions about that? Cool. Okay, so the next area of consistency that I wanted to talk about was being consistent with your social media posts. that's something that obviously we are trained on and we talk about all the time as coaches, that we need to be consistently posting on social media. And by doing that, we are going to obtain more customers and obviously help more people. When I first signed on as a coach, I felt that I was always posting about Beachbody. Every single post that I made was strictly related to Shakeology and my workouts. And that was great when I first signed on because people were becoming interested in what I was doing because I was a new coach. But as you are coaching for longer periods of time, I've been a coach for 7 months now, I'm not going to post a Shakeology cup every single day on social media because people would be like, well, what the hell are you doing? I don't want to see this every single day. So we have to get more creative about what we're posting, right? But the important thing is that we are being consistent in posting every single day. If you're missing 2 or 3 days a week and then you post, and then you miss 2 or 3 days and then you post, a lot of people are missing you on social media. They won't see you because you're posting so sporadically. I wanted to share a story with you that recently I connected with a woman and we were having a wonderful conversation over IM, and she was ready to purchase a challenge pack. So as she was ready to purchase, made her commitment, I said, let's get on the phone. I'll walk you through the steps over the phone. And we set up a time to talk. So when I got her on the phone, she told me that she had been approached in the past by 3 other Beachbody coaches, and they had asked her to sign on. And she had said that she either never heard back from them after they initially invited her to something, or that she never saw them post on social media. So they didn't stick out in her mind. So she said to me, when you asked me, I thought, oh, wow, I really want to sign on with you because you're on social media. You're always sharing healthy recipes, workout tips, and just things of value. So I thought, oh, she's going to really be a good coach for me because she's constantly posting things related to her business on social media. So when you're thinking about posting, as coaches, we are supposed to post 3 times a day. And obviously, it's not going to be Beachbody related 3 times a day. So I was just going to share some things that I post consistently. So I'm always posting healthy recipes, whether I've made them up myself, I've cooked them myself, or if you go to someone else's site, there's tons of healthy recipes all over the place, and you just post it and say, this recipe looks awesome, I'm going to try it. You can do that. I'm always posting fitness tips, just small tidbits of information, why it's good to work out in the morning, or how fitness changes my mental mindset as well as my physical state. Other great posts are transformation stories. They don't have to be your own. Beachbody offers us tons of tools and tons of transformation stories from other people that have had amazing transformation with our products. You can borrow those transformation stories and post them on your site and just, write a nice little blurb about that person's transformation. Something that I've been doing a lot more of lately, and I feel like my professional development has really helped me with this, is posting about how being a coach has positively impacted my life and just sharing my own personal growth as a coach on social media. So I think that, we have a lot of different things that we can be posting on social media every day to remain consistent. And we just need to be creative and think about how we can continuously share things of value when we're posting consistently. So I think those are the things you need to take away. It needs to be consistent. You need to add value to someone's life when you're posting, and you need to get creative with what you're posting about. So don't make all your posts the same, try and change them up and make them different. We invite people to challenge groups. I highly recommend only doing that 1 time a week. If you're always posting about your challenge group and not offering anything else of value, it makes you more salesy as opposed to people connecting with you, your story, and your journey. So once a week, I like to promote my challenge group, and the rest of the week, I'm just sharing other things related to the business, but not necessarily a Beachbody, hey, I'm a coach kind of thing, if that makes sense. So now going back to our schedules that we created, I want you to think about a place in your schedule 3 times a day that you can create a social media post. So I'll give you an example in my own schedule. I post 3 times a day, and typically, now this isn't every day, but typically I post between 6:30 and 7:15. I have my workout, and then I do my first social media post, and that's usually some kind of quote that is, you know, a positive way to start the day. And then I work the business between 9:30 and 12, and I usually do a social media post that's a little bit more outlining my story than just talking about something specific to me and my life and how I've changed since becoming a coach, or listening to professional development has changed my mindset. And then I usually post again at nighttime before I go to sleep, and I might post a fitness tip or a good recipe that I've created that people should share. So those are the 3 different times in the day that I post. So I want you to look at your personal schedules right now and think about 3 different times in your day that you could spend posting something of value on social media. I'm going to give you all a minute to do that. All right, awesome. Give me about 30 more seconds. All right, cool. So the last area that I wanted to focus on, oh, did anyone have questions about that? Posting on social media consistently, fitting it into your schedule, anything? All right, good. All right, so the last area that I wanted to focus on about being consistent was how we as coaches have downlines and how we need to focus on consistently being a support system to our downline coaches. So if you're a newer coach, you know, this might not be specific to you right now, but I promise you it is going to be very quick that you earn your first business builder. And the minute you have one business builder, you're a leader, and you need to lead with an example, and you need to help your business builders have a solid, consistent business. So I try to spend a lot of time with my downline coaches and talk to them about the importance of hitting Success Club 5. You know, that's the first thing that we need to make sure we are consistently doing with any of our coaches that are looking to work the business. We need to talk to them about Success Club 5, what that means, and what they specifically need to be doing every day, aside from the 3 vital behaviors that are going to help them hit Success Club 5 every month. So what are some things that I do as a coach to help my downline and be consistent about supporting them through their own coaching? So I offer scripts. I think about the scripts that I have used in the past for challenge groups, for inviting discount buyers to, inviting customers to the discount buyer opportunity. And I share those scripts with my downline coaches. I know they're available to us in Wild Impact, and that's wonderful. But when you are a new coach, Wild Impact can be very overwhelming. The file section can be very overwhelming. You don't know where to access the tools. So I find it to be a very important part of our job as their uplines to consistently be sharing important tools with them, like scripts that are going to increase the likelihood that they're going to be sending out invitations and hitting Success Club 5 because you've given them the tools to do that. So I do that on a consistent basis. I offer my coaches tools and scripts for inviting people to challenge groups and to the business opportunity. I also consistently offer my coaches the opportunity to critique any conversations they're having with prospects. If my coaches are struggling and I can tell that they're having a difficult time with hitting Success Club 5, I want to be consistently supporting them and making them feel that they are going to be successful in this business, and I want them to know that I'm there to help them. So I offer to critique their conversations. Send me your conversations that you've recently had. Do you want me to jump on a call with your next prospect and you? How can I support you in that? You need to consistently make your downline coaches feel that you're supporting them and that they can be successful in this business. I also give my coaches ideas for posting on social media. Some coaches have a lot of trouble thinking about what they're going to post every day. So I know which specific coaches I work with have those struggles, and I try to give them ideas for what they can post every day. Just a simple, hey, I was thinking maybe today you can post about, you know, the awesome dinner that you made, that you told me you were making last night, or something like that. Just really simple calls to action that can help your coaches think about things in a different light that they're not thinking about. And something new that I started doing with my downline, I have about 7 or 8 coaches that are either working below me or working below my working coaches. And I've recently put them into a thread, and I give them a call to action every single week. So the call to action is very simple, and it is only one thing that I ask them to focus on for the entire week. So for example, last week I asked my downline coaches to every day invite one person that's a customer to the discount buyer opportunity. And they focused on that all week long. So it kind of just gives them a goal to work on consistently throughout the week without overwhelming them with all these other goals that they need to work on. So really specific goal to work toward, and be consistent about working on that goal through that week. Does anyone have any questions about how you can support your downline and other things that you might do to support your coaches that are working below you? No. All right. All right, well, it's 9:30, so I will add in one little extra piece, and then I'm going to let you guys go. One other area that I didn't say I was going to talk about, but it came up tonight when I was listening to a training call for Teamzy, and that was being consistent with your follow-ups. And I thought that something was very interesting that I learned through this little training. It was about 6 minutes long, and I can post it in the thread after we hang up. But it was all about, obviously we know we have to have a solid tracking system. Once you become a coach and you have customers and coaches and you need to be following up with people on a consistent basis, it can become very overwhelming if you don't have a solid tracking system. So either you can use an Excel spreadsheet, you can do pen and paper, or you can sign up for a system like Teamsy, which is going to help track all of that for you. And whatever tool you use, you need to be keeping track. That's one thing that you need to be consistently doing. All of my conversations when I follow up with customers end in a question. So every time you're following up with your question, every time you're following up with somebody about a conversation that you left, I always like to end with a question because it keeps the conversation going. If I say, let me know what you think, or hope to hear from you soon, that's it. I'm ending the conversation right there. And then I'm not really confident about following up with them again because I'm thinking, oh, geez, well, I just left off that conversation saying, hope to hear from you soon, or let me know what you think. So I kind of left the ball in their court, and now I'm not really comfortable following up with them. So if I end with a question, I always feel more confident saying, oh, hey, the last time we chatted, you told me this. Are you still interested in joining my group, or are you still interested in learning more about Shakeology? Did you listen to the video I sent over to you? So those are just two things that I do personally as a coach when I'm following up with my prospects. But something I thought was interesting in this little Teamsy training that I listened to was that the gentleman that was giving it said that every time you are following up with a prospect, you should promise them that you were going to follow up with them again. So if you send them a video and you say, if I send you this video on Shakeology, will you watch it? And they say, yes, I will. Then you say, okay, great. Here's the video. I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, and you can tell me what you thought about the video. So by telling them that you're going to follow up with them on a specific time, you are more comfortable, and I know that happens to me, about following up with them because you told them you were going to follow up with them. So you don't feel like you're nagging them or annoying them because you said, here's the information, I'll follow up with you tomorrow to get your opinion. But what I thought, and which I always do, but what I thought was the interesting part that he said about being consistent was that he follows up with people 7 times before he puts them into his default system in Teamsy. So basically, he will follow up with someone 24 hours after he sends them information. Then he will follow up with them a second time 48 hours later, and he will just say, hey, I'm just checking in to see what questions you have. Third time he follows up, he'll wait 3 days. Fourth time, he waits a week. Fifth time, 2 weeks. Sixth time, 3 weeks. And the 7th time he follows up, he waits 30 days. And what I thought was amazing was that he said the magic almost always happens for him around the 5th or 6th follow-up. And if they don't answer by the 7th, he kind of puts them into a pile of not right now. So I thought that was interesting tip that I learned myself today about being consistent. I think that when I follow up, I usually give it about 2 times, and then I give up. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I'll try them again the next time I'm hosting a challenge group. So I thought that it was interesting that, hold on, someone just posted something. Is that 30 days from initial contact or 30 days from last contact? The way I read it, the way I listened to it was 30 days from initial contact. So he made it seem like he was very consistent about following up for 30 days. And then if the person basically didn't respond in that 30-day time frame, he put them into a different group. And I guess on Teamsy, which I haven't been a member of Teamsy for that long yet, but it kind of recycles people for you. So if you put them into the default area, it will bring them back up maybe in a few months for you to have a conversation with them again. So I thought that was a really interesting tip on being consistent, because I don't know about everyone on this call, but that's probably one area that I struggle with the most, is being consistent with my follow-ups. I just feel that I do feel like a nuisance or a nag sometimes. So this kind of gave me a little incentive to be more consistent with people for a solid time frame before completely saying, oh, okay, they're not interested anymore. And I was thinking when I was listening to that as well, I have a customer that just signed up last week, and I've been working with her since November. So, you know, that goes beyond the 30-day follow-up, but I did follow up with her a bunch of times and keep inviting her to challenge groups because she always still liked my things. So I felt like I could. I didn't feel that much of a nuisance or a nag, but I will definitely would like to know more about Teamzy. Yeah, you know, you can ask Tina Killeran. Is that how you say her last name? She's like the Teamzy master. It's really great. I just downloaded it a few days ago, but it's an awesome tool for helping you keep track of your prospects. It's going to save you a lot of time. I mean, initially to input all your information, it'll take time, but it's definitely going to help you with your follow-ups. And I just love that the system tells you when to follow up. So it takes away, you know, it takes away the idea of you scrolling through your messages and figuring out who you need to follow up with. You can basically put this person in, you put your conversation, and then it tells, and then you can say, follow up with them in 1 day, follow up with them in 4 days, follow up with them in 7 days, and they'll pop back up for you to follow up with when that time frame is available. So that's just something else to be consistent about. I know that that's an area that is probably harder to think about being consistent, but I think that it's one of the biggest areas of coaching that if we can commit to doing that consistent follow-up for 5, 6, 7 times with one customer, you know, I really feel like the potential for that customer to understand that we're really trying to help them is great. So I'm going to make that a commitment to myself. Anybody else have any questions about that? Does anyone else on the call used Teamzy and been using it for a while that loves it? Not yet. Yeah, it's newer. I feel like a lot of us are just getting into it, but it's a great tool. I definitely recommend it. And you get a 30-day free trial, which is awesome. All right, well, that's all I have for you guys. That was the only information. Nope, Marcy, it's not an app. I just looked today to see if it was an app form, and it's not. I'm sure it will be one day. But that's all the information I have for you guys. So, you know, I hope you take away something great from this call. I hope you think about your schedule and being consistent with your professional development and being consistent with your downline coaches and supporting them, and how you can be consistent with your social media posts and make them more interesting and do it 3 times a day. All right, guys. Well, I hope everyone has a good night. I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you. Thank you all for getting on. Have a great night.